Joining me now is Dan Ackerman, senior editor with CNET.com, and a good morning to you.
How you doing?
So I'm okay, but in terms of if I were, say, a plasma TV owner, that's not so good if you're in California.
Well, California is such a big market that whatever happens in California, kind of regulation-wise, is really going to fan out to the rest of the country. They're not going to make one set of TVs for California and another set for everybody else. So yeah.
Okay, and what they're looking at is what? Take away the plasma TVs because these use so much more energy. It's a way to try to save costs, but also more the environment, right?
Well, really, in California, they figured out that maybe 10% of all the electricity being used was powering these big screen TVs. So they said, hey, why don't we put in place some regulations that say you have to be this power efficient, you know, by this date. Now, right now, most of the TVs probably wouldn't meet that new standard, but it's not going to kick in until 2011 if they even approve it, and they're getting so much more efficient every year, maybe
right.
20%. So by the time the regulations kick in, really most of the TVs are actually going to be fine.
So is there any opposition to this or not?
Well, the companies that make the TVs obviously don't like, any regulation at all, even if naturally their TVs are going to become more power efficient. The guys who still make the plasma TVs, particularly Panasonic, who are very heavily invested in this, those are not as efficient, and those really are never going to be. But the mix is moving to those LCD TVs, which are more efficient, and by the time we get to 2011 and 2013 for the even more strict standards, most of the TVs will fall right in line.
And in terms of plasma versus LCD, if you're out there in the market, is there reason to buy plasma?
People have asked this question for years, and plasma TVs, right now at least, can be a little bit brighter, have better black levels. LCD TVs, they're kind of based on the same technology in your computer monitor, so it's been around longer, runs a little bit cooler, a little bit lighter, but the mix is just naturally moving from plasma to LCD. In a couple of years, you're really not going to have much of a choice, and then move on to new stuff, like LEDs and OLEDs.
Last quick question. People say so goes California, may go the rest of the country because of it's just, it's a big
market, yeah.
Largest GDP in the world or something. So you think that this will catch on and then it'll kind of make a sweep?
I think that if they do it in California, that will just naturally change everybody's product mix going forward, so you'll just naturally get these power efficient TVs all over the country.
Okay. Dan Ackerman with CNET.com. Good to see you. Thanks.
Good to see you.
Taking on